Yes, before I go any further upon the perfection of a horse and its vigilance and strength of a horse being that tremendous to fit our daily lives, I was to add on it, but maybe next time. You see, if still our welfares are being stolen by parents and their children who think they must give their people property with no tax they have paid, we are sure that a lady like Lisa Nevata she's stolen our property to someone here. They flow together thinking that we will not know and we will let go. So she will be counted a giver to Balese, as Balese counts Lisa a giver. And very many guys think that it is okay to rob our property when it is reached in Uganda, while we pay taxes upon it. So we appeal to whoever responsible and whoever thinks that taxes mean security. If anyone who does not understand security, to anyone who does not understand security and security guidance, will not call taxes our security, but to every American, to every individual, to every American citizen who is paid taxes for the last 2 decades and knows what taxes mean to a society or to a community, will support us legally, then the United States Reserve Bank will bring out our money and pay our property, because that first they call for taxes as they weigh out our parcels, where they weigh parcels to. That's where they weigh our parcel. And they tell us how much they want on each and every parcel. They have not excused us on any parcel at all, but they have taxed each and every parcel they steal when it is reached the U.S. Embassy, Uganda. People who claim to take our property are drugged guys and biased fellows. So today I will not talk about the horse. Allow me to talk about their dubiosity, the more emphasis on how much they have gone dubious into their missionary exercise, into their missionary expertise they have showed here in Uganda. First, I'll talk about Mr. David Easterly. From his cocaine habit and his cocaine character, he jumped onto a Bible school girl called Tendo, harassed her sexually bad to an extent that he ran her into Southern Sudan, that she missed a lot interaction with us as fellow students at the Bible school, to an end that David Easterly went with this Bible school girl in Southern Sudan to harass her the more sexually. That is Dave Easterly. I go to Mr. Gary. Mr. Gary, rich as he sounds and rich as he commands every currency and every money, he jumped onto a juvenile also here in Seguku. When I met the family, like a decade and a half ago, family used to stay in Seguku. These days they shifted from Seguku. I don't know where they went. But when I talked to this family, a lady told me that when they catched Gary fucking this juvenile girl here, Gary promised them a big sum of money to just move away from the incidence point, go. When Gary left that point, he did not pay them even a penny. But he harassed this juvenile, underage, sexually bad. I go to Lisa, Nevada. Nevada loved a kid of 9 plus. Loved a kid so much to parent a kid. We all liked Lisa's attitude towards kids, but we found out that mainly people with such an attitude towards kids, people need to deal with children at a distance of an arm. It is the only distance people can deal with children. We've found it out in men, and now we are sure it happens in women. What Lisa did, dragged a boy one dinner time. As they were about to have dinner, they dragged this boy heavily. This young boy did not even realize what took place after. But cock filled her mind up to do what a boy could not. This boy did what he could not do because of drugs. And I'm sure Lisa dragged this kid several times. If you happen to meet this kid now, as someone who met this kid tells me, if you happen to meet this kid now, you just know this kid is dragged several times with a strong drug, cock. I will talk another person called Mr. and Mrs. Adams. These are all Seattle, Washington residents. I reached to Mr. and Mrs. Adams. They went in the countryside of Uganda. They found a kid. Yes, a kid. Because they wanted to obtain welfare by false pretense, they became so much creative to obtain our welfares, showing out a kid that they're gonna take care of her. What happened? Mr. and Mrs. Adams, when they reached before our springs, they asked for money that they don't have money to take care of Sarah. When they took Sarah in America, they continued to call for our welfares. My caution towards Mr. and Mrs. Adams, why did they carry a load they can't manage? It's now they think of fights than payments or hard work. How come guys of Seattle jump into our welfares and our relationship to destroy them all because they know how to steal and run back home in America? I appeal to the law enforcement team of the United States of America, and I appeal to the United States Summit. I appeal to the Capitol Police of America. I appeal to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I appeal to the White House the President of America. And I appeal to the United States public, all. Mainly and major, I appeal to the great Native American people within the United States of America that are a big hood which deals in cocaine and drugs and homosexuality and confusion and messy attitudes has come to Uganda within a Pentecostal movement or within a church to obtain by false pretense welfares and property, running away from taxes we pay upon our pastors and messing us up with the funds World Outreach Ministry Foundation sends to us. It is harsh and totally bad to us, Warmth people. I appeal to you, Madam Grace of Warmth, that guys have not talked and they have been not talking, but they have been stealing our property, talking to their friends in Seattle. And those guys can't buy those stuff, can't buy those parcels, pay their taxes and give them out. Look what a man like Easterly, he did the same thing in Kenya. He did the same thing in Mexico. How come he's jumped onto the same thing here in Uganda? Because he's joined hands with the president who denounced himself an idiot. We are really frightened, and it is harshment to us. Since they have found us in church, we are just using talks, but we are not at safety. We are calling upon the United Nations Human Rights Assembly to offer us guns to protect our rights here in Uganda, East Africa. Indeed, this hood is still doing what it's been doing. And indeed, still our church streams don't talk, but they continue to add more load upon us while denying us information, and our welfares and parcels don't reach us. And the US Embassy is that cheap also to tell us that whatever DHL delivers to the US Embassy belongs to the US Embassy staff. Yet, it is in our custom as US people to use our embassy premises as long as it is to our safety. It is to our safety, our parcels to reach our embassy, then we get them. People who don't want to pay taxes to US Embassy are the people who have stolen our property. And the people who are drugged with harder drugs like cocaine and etc. People who are embracing gayism and coke are people who have stolen our property here.